Good morning everyone. This video is for the students of class 12th economics. In this video we shall start a new chapter, that is chapter number 10 from macroeconomics. So the chapter number 10 is government budget and the economy, and this is our lecture number 1 for chapter 10. So first of all, have a look on concept of government budget. See, the last day of the month February is well known as the day when finance minister present annual budget of the government. Okay, in India it is fixed that on the last day of February month the government will present the budget. Now in this budget there are few informations. See, the budget unfolds the financial performance of the government over the past 1 year, that what were the government expenditure, what were its revenue in the last 1 year, and the financial programs and policies of the government for the next 1 year. Okay, so the budget tells us about what were the government expenditure and receipts during the last year, and what will be the government's financial programs and policies for the next 1 year. So the programs and policies of the government as presented in the budget are known as budgetary policy of the government or fiscal policy of the government. Okay, so as I told you that in budget, what were the revenue and expenditure of the government in last 1 year, that is shown, and which policies and programs the government will follow in the next 1 year, that is shown. So the programs and policies of the government that it is going to follow in the next 1 year, those policies and programs are known as budgetary policy of the government or fiscal policy of the government. Now these policies have two aspects, revenue aspect and expenditure aspect. On the revenue side, the budgetary policy reveals expected receipts of the government. Okay, whatever the government can receive as an income. Okay, on revenue side, the budgetary policy reveals about the receipts of the government, whereas on the expenditure side, the budgetary policy reveals expected expenditure of the government. So overall, we can say that government budget is a statement of expected receipts and expected expenditure of the government for the financial year to come. Okay, for the coming financial year, what are the expected receipts and expected expenditure of the government? It is the statement of that which reveals budgetary policy of the government to achieve the twin objective of growth with stability in the economy. Okay. Now we shall have a look on objectives of government budget. The first objective of government budget is GDP growth. GDP growth is the central objective of government budgetary policy. It is achieved in two ways. Okay, the foremost important objective of the government is to increase the GDP growth of the economy. And how can it achieve it? By making public investment expenditure. Okay, if the government will increase its public investment expenditure, that means there would be GDP growth of the economy, or by inducing private investment expenditure like through tax rebates and subsidies. So basically we can say that the government can increase GDP growth by increasing its investment expenditure. It can be public investment expenditure or private investment expenditure. The next one is allocation of resources. Through its budgetary policy, the government of the country directs the allocation of resources in a manner such that there is balance between the goals of profit maximization and social welfare. Okay, so what happened? The government budget shows such budgetary policies which enhance allocation of resources in such a manner that there is profit maximization in the economy along with social welfare. See, production of goods which are injurious to health like cigarettes, whiskey these are discouraged through heavy taxation. Okay. On the other hand, production of socially useful goods like khadi, these are encouraged through subsidies. Okay. So these are the government policies which government adopt so that it can achieve the balance between social welfare and profit maximization in the economy. Next one is provision of public goods. Okay, public goods are like goods for defense, law and order of the country. Okay, so it is through the government budgetary policies that production of such public goods are done in the sufficient quantity and the needs of the people or of the country for these kind of goods are fulfilled. Okay, see, supply and demand forces in a market economy do not allow enough production of public goods. As we know that in an economy there are two forces, supply and demand, which affect the production level. These supply forces and demand forces, these forces in the market do not allow enough production of these goods. These are those goods which satisfy collective needs of the people, like law and order and defense of the country are important examples of public goods. It is through budgetary allocation of funds that these goods are sufficiently provided to the people. The next one is redistribution of income and wealth. See, in countries like India, okay, the distribution of income and wealth is highly unequal. Okay, so the economic growth is affected by such unequal distribution of income. So, the budgetary policy helps to solve the problem of this economic divide. Okay, see, the budget of the government shows its comprehensive exercise on taxation and subsidies. See, distribution of income and wealth is improved in two ways. By imposing taxes on rich and giving subsidies to the poor, so that there can be equality between rich and poor. Or we can say by supplying food grains to BPL population, that is below poverty line population, at low price. Okay. So what happened? By imposing taxes on rich and giving subsidies to poor, the government redistributes the income in favor of poorer section of the society. Now the government pursues a policy of progressive taxation. Okay, these kind of policies we will read further in the chapter. So basically, government through its budgetary policies reduce the gulf between disposable income of rich and that of poor. Okay, now how can it do so? It can do so by supplying food grains to below poverty line population at low price, like free distribution of LPG connections to the poor people. Okay, these are some ways by which the government tries to reduce the gap between poor and rich in the country. The next objective is balanced regional growth. Now, the budgetary policy also focuses on the development of backward region in the country. See, the budgetary policy places priority on the development of backward regions in the country. This is achieved through liberal tax laws for the backward regions. Establishments of special economic zones in the backward regions through liberal tax laws may be cited as an example. Okay, now what happened? The government tries to develop the backward regions of the country. Okay, now through how can government do so? Government establishes special economic zones in those areas where there is no development in the country. Okay, and it follow the liberal tax laws there in such cities so that they can be developed. So the next objective is employment opportunities. Budgetary policy also focuses on the generation of employment opportunities through investment in public enterprises. See, budgetary provisions are made for schemes like MG Narega, that is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, okay, which offers employment to the poorer section of the society. Okay, so the government aim at generating employment opportunities in the economy. So the last objective is economic stability. Economic stability is the situation when there is no inflationary or deflationary gap in the economy. Okay, we know that in the market there are forces of supply and demand, okay, which create business cycles. Business cycles means there is a phase of recession also, depression also. So the government aim at economic stability. Okay, so when there is inflationary gap in the economy, it is corrected by reducing government expenditure, okay, and increasing the revenue. Similarly, when there is deflationary gap, it is corrected by increasing the government expenditure. Okay, so the government basically aim at achieving economic stability in the economy. See, free play of market forces or the forces of supply and demand are bound to generate trade cycles, also called business cycles. These refers to the phases of recession, depression, recovery and boom in the economy. Okay, so the government of a country is always committed to save the economy from business cycles, and budget is used as an important policy instrument to correct the situation of deflation and inflation in the economy, which we have already read in the previous chapter. Okay, so overall we can say that government budget aim at increasing GDP growth in the economy along with economic stability. Now we shall study about structure of government budget, or we can say components of government budget. There are broadly two components of government budget. First one is budget receipts. Okay, these are the money receipts of the government during that fiscal year. Okay, whatever the money government is receiving in a 1 year, in that fiscal year, that comes under budget receipts. And the next component is budget expenditure. It refers to total or estimated expenditure of the government relating to its development or non-development programs, okay, during the fiscal year. So basically budget expenditure includes the government expenditure made on development or non-development programs during that particular year. Now budget receipts also include 2 points, that is revenue receipts and capital receipts. Similarly, budget expenditure also include 2 points, that is revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. Okay, so budget receipts and budget expenditures are the two topics. These topics will be covered in next lectures. So now your homework is that you have to read complete chapter number 10, that is government budget and the economy, from your macroeconomics book.